Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Kitaj NBA. For everybody that celebrated Christmas yesterday, Merry Christmas. That's obviously my reason for not uploading yesterday. I was also watching a few of the Christmas Day games. Couldn't watch all of them, but a specific one inspired this video today. Because last season, or at least I should say for many seasons, the topic of the best point guard in the East has been a pretty hot discussion. I mean, it's gone back and forth from players such as Isaiah Thomas and Kyle Lowry, even Kemba Walker, but mostly, the two guys that are at the top of these discussions, it's often KYRIE IRVING and John Wall. And for a few years, I think I'd say 1 or 2 years, I've been one of the guys that I would always go with John Wall, because as KYRIE IRVING was the second option on the Cleveland Cavaliers, John Wall was a guy who was leading his team into the playoffs every single year. He didn't have a good enough team to, get by the Cavs, but obviously he was good enough to, lead the team that he had to where they got. And KYRIE IRVING, as a player, I knew, he's a great second option. He's a guy that can score the basketball. He's a guy that, he can do a lot when you got a guy like LeBron on the floor. However, every time the Cavaliers would have LeBron off the court, it didn't matter if Kyrie was out there. He couldn't, hold that team to, at least play even with the other team or play better than the other team. It was basically every time LeBron left the court, LeBron didn't play a game, KYRIE IRVING would be out there. Maybe KYRIE IRVING wouldn't be out there. It wouldn't really matter. The team wouldn't, they would be terrible. They've always been like that. LeBron leaving the court, the Cavs are awful. And, me, along with many other people, we were making this assumption that, well, we haven't seen Kyrie lead a team. Even in his early days, yes, he was a great scorer, but can he win you games? Can you get a ton of wins under this guy? And that's why I was always drawn towards picking John Wall over KYRIE IRVING. I also liked the playmaking ability and the defensive ability of John Wall over Kyrie's. Kyrie, of course, has the scoring advantage, but I really didn't see a whole lot, besides the clutch factor, that I could, use as arguments for KYRIE IRVING. And it would always end up, well, look, John Wall's the number one guy on his team. He's a better playmaker. He's a better leader, it appears. He's a better defensive player. And, he's led this team to the playoffs multiple times. He's gotten past the first round. And of course, John Wall hasn't gotten past the second round. He's been on a team that hasn't made the playoffs some years when they should have. He's been on a team that, should have won some playoff series that they lost. And especially that one with the Celtics last year was definitely one of those. Now, I'm going to revisit this question. KYRIE IRVING or John Wall? Which one is better? Which one would you rather have? And I think that an argument for KYRIE IRVING makes so much more sense than it did before at this point. And I think that we can actually, make this argument, have a discussion about this with more information about the two players. Because although KYRIE IRVING hadn't ever shown that he could be a number one guy and a leader on a team, he didn't really have a chance to do that. Let's be honest, it isn't fair to base a guy's leadership abilities off of these few minutes when LeBron wasn't on the court or games where LeBron wasn't playing. I mean, we need seasons, and we can't really use his early seasons either because he's grown so much as a player. So what I would always say was, look, I haven't seen anything yet that resembles a leadership ability of KYRIE IRVING. I would say, look, I'm not going to act like he can't lead a team. I'm just saying there's no evidence there, which is true. There wasn't any evidence there. However, there wasn't really any evidence for us to, completely shut him down as, he can't lead a team. He will never make his teammates better or anything like that. And I think a lot of people jumped to that conclusion. It was definitely something that I may have assumed, but I never, set it in stone because I knew, look, you got to give this guy a season. And when KYRIE IRVING was traded to the Celtics, I said, look, this looks like, I think KYRIE IRVING is biting off more than he can chew. I don't think he's going to be able to do this. However, I'm open to being proven wrong. I'm open to KYRIE IRVING having this great year And I do believe, like, okay, we need this season to judge. This is going to be a smart payoff for Kyrie Irving if this works, if he can really lead this team like he thinks he can. And I was, you know, it was a question like, okay, let's see what he's got. I'm going to see if he can lead this team. And it's not like I was thinking there's no way, because, you know, I hadn't really seen it. He hadn't played a full season as number one guy since he was like a second-year player. So now he's in Boston. Now he's thriving as that number one guy. The Boston team is currently 27-10. This is a team that has been great for like the entire year, and they're without one of their stars, Gordon Hayward, yet they're 27-10. They've played multiple games without Kyrie Irving, without Al Horford. They've had injuries to basically all of their key players, yet they have been able to retain a great record in the Eastern Conference. And this, I don't know, is this a product of Kyrie Irving? Are they this good because Kyrie? Would they have been this good? That's a good question. We really don't know that one either. They have won some games without Kyrie, but they have lost some, including they got destroyed by the Bulls. So, right there, I mean, Kyrie definitely wouldn't have, you know, having him, I don't think they would have gotten 30 ball by the Bulls. I'm pretty sure that maybe they would have lost, but I don't think they would have lost by that much. Even though Kyrie does have a good team around him, he's still clearly the number one guy. He's still clearly the leader. He's the best player. There's no question about that. So, you know, obviously you need a good team around you to do something. If you're not LeBron James in this league, you gotta have good players around you to be good in the regular season at least. And Kyrie has good players, and he's playing very well. Now, on the other hand, we got John Wall in Washington. Wizards are 19-15. They did come with the win yesterday against the Celtics. However, they have had a pretty rocky start to their year, even though John Wall has been injured for a good deal of it. I know a lot of people are saying, you know, they're jumping to this conclusion that John Wall was having such a bad year, but, you know, he really hasn't played that much. He's averaging 19 points and 9 assists. He's only shooting 41% from the field, 33% from the three-point line. And, you know, he hasn't been himself for a lot of the games. However, he played really well yesterday, and I think that, you know, with more time, a player, anybody, will just, you know, have to get in their groove again. Maybe he's been a little rusty, but I think that, you know, he'll find his stride eventually. And I mean, I don't know, those stats aren't even that bad, but they're down from what they usually would be. I mean, his percentages are down, his points are down, his assists are down, but he's not playing as many minutes, and yeah, just give him time. And if this team wins and they make the playoffs and he plays well in the playoffs, I mean, it doesn't really matter. Now, the thing is, with these two players, I don't know if I can go wrong at this point, because right now, I think I would say John Wall is a better playmaker. I think he's a better defensive player. And I think Kyrie Irving is a better scorer. Now, when it comes to leadership, I've previously thought John Wall was the better leader because Kyrie Irving was always the second best player on his team. But now he's the best player and he's leading this team well. However, he's only been the leader of a team for 37 games. Okay, I don't want to just sit here and say, oh, well, Kyrie's he's playing this well for the first 37 games. He's automatically better. I can't say that. We haven't had a good enough sample size. However, I would say that this season, Kyrie Irving has been a better leader and better player for his team, even if a lot of that has to do with, oh, well, John Wall was injured and, you know, he isn't playing as well. But I still think that Kyrie Irving, the season he's having right now, is better than most seasons John Wall has had. And like 25 points, 49% from the field, 41% from three. Those percentages destroy percentages from any of John Wall's seasons. As a scorer, though, I think we know who's a better scorer. But when it comes to the playmaking, Kyrie Irving, he's only averaging 5 assists. However, I really don't want to hold him accountable for that because, to be honest, Kyrie Irving has never been this like floor general player, okay? And he plays on a Boston Celtics team that, you know, they're gonna move the ball around. They're not gonna just, you know, do a one-pass score, pick and roll with Kyrie to pass to a guy every time. I mean, that's just not what they do. And this guy looks for his shot, and I don't see why you want him to pass the ball more if he's shooting 49% from the field and 41% from three. His court vision is not as good as John Wall's, and his playmaking ability is not as good as John Wall's, but you can't call him a bad playmaker. I wouldn't, at least. I think that he's a good playmaker. I just don't think he's a great playmaker. John Wall, of course, has the edge defensively. And, you know, there's something about that clutch time factor that kind of makes me lean towards Kyrie Irving a little bit. So, look, for right now, I think this season, Kyrie Irving is better than John Wall right now. In this season, the way they're playing right now. However, is he a better player for good? I don't know. I can't make that decision. I think that Kyrie Irving and John Wall are about equally matched. But if the things keep going how they're going right now, there's no question. Kyrie Irving is better at the moment. So I guess you could say my answer is Kyrie Irving. However, if John Wall gets back to playing how he was, if he gets his team in better shape, I can't pick one or the other. I really can't. I mean, they're different, and they're both really good. So, you pick. Let me know what you think. Subscribe if you're new. I'm out. Thanks for watching, y'all. Peace.